Tippy time my damies, Topcat here and welcome back to the channel. With Edge of Fate letting off the gas a bit and new armor en route with Renegade, I'm nailing down my armor collection. I'm sure like me, your vault's packed tighter than a nun's rectum. Mine is worse than the divorce rate, with over 50% of it being armor. So I'm really trying to isolate what armor I need if they become harder to farm in the future, so some decisions need to be made. Thankfully it's not to the extremes of red pill, blue pill. The Aion Adapter builds work best with a split personality by either pushing that weapon stat to 200 or completely ignoring the stat to balance out all your health and abilities. So I'm taking two armor sets going forwards. This armor is blue pill strong, not the type that gives you a mind trip, but the type that gives us a rager. When we get a kill with an RPG, GL or micro missile for 15 seconds, it's going to give us splash damage resist. Try and think of this like a concussive dampener mod, but stronger. It gives us two types of damage resist. The first is the 20% splash damage resist against hostile forces, kinda like wearing a raincoat in the front row of SeaWorld. The second is a 60% self splash damage reduction, kinda like trying to end yourself with a plastic knife. This allows us to barrel stuff foes with our arsenal and tank it. Aion kits work really well with primary GLs, but I wanted to use a heavy that worked like a primary. The Eyes of Tomorrow solar rocket launcher is a true full release exotic. We ADS to target, it's going to pinpoint some bad dudes, we itch that trigger finger and wave bye bye. It is an extremely volatile weapon though. You gotta watch out that you don't accidentally seppuku yourself. Once targeting is done, I'll often un-ADS and then let off the trigger, just in case some thralls try and jump in your face, or you're like me and accidentally try and make love to your friendly barricade. Now we're able to use this as a primary weapon, as whenever we defeat 4 or more targets, it's going to refund us a rocket volley, giving us more spam than a Tongan wedding. Now I only learned last week that the Fever and Chill perk in the artifact was bugged. I'm not sure if it's been like this the entire time, but it states you need rapid solar precision hits to earn Radiant, but it's also giving us Radiant off the back of 3 solar weapon kills. This makes it easier than beating Michael J. Fox at a game of Jenga to get Radiant. And it's amazing if you just tweak this RPG a little bit, it becomes a real pog gun. The Hazardous Propulsion was an obvious choice to run the Evil Eyes with, thanks to its perk Danger Close. With precision hits or final blows, we have a chance to load kinetic Exodus micro missiles. These can stack up to 6. Once we use our class ability, we will full release these self-targeting missiles upon our foes. With every rocket that hits, it's going to give us another damage stack towards our micro missile and RPGs. With 1 rocket hit, that's 10%, 2 is 17, 3 is 24, with 4 we have 30% bonus, then it's 33, and this maxes out at a 35% come dump. It's also very important to know that these micro missiles will also work in conjunction with our adapter set, again feeding us that raincoat and plastic knife splash damage resist. Now I'm going to go balls deep and fully micro missile the hell out of this kit. I like the return memory solar special sidearm from the Crucible. This will allow us to utilize that Radiant from Fever and Chill. It's got that Tenacity Origin trait on it, netting us a free 10% damage bonus when we get 20 kills with it, whilst also increasing our handling and reload, until our enemies switch out a plastic knife for a real blade. I'm running 1 Surge mod for that bonus 10% solar damage for both our weapons. As I'm treating the Eyes of Tomorrow like a primary, my return memory kind of plays like a primary / special. I'm running the perk Redirection on it, so when we damage red bars it's going to stack up stacks, and we won't spend these stacks until we come across those chunkier targets. Working kinda like after my divorce, where I dated a few dregs before working myself up to Amara. As we start each engagement with a full release of Eyes or Propulsion, we then swap to the return memory for a little cleanup. This allows us to use that reciprocal draw mod in the artifact, giving us a brief period with another 15% damage bonus. The reason we can comfortably come dump with our Eyes of Tomorrow in that heavy slot against those piddly old red bars is the mint Retrograde is just too damn good. It is a heavy weapon with an identity crisis, one which I hope Bungie does not correct. My favourite one to use here is that rewind and bait and switch combo, so we can clear house with the Eyes, give it a little love tap with the return memory, barrage his ass with the Hazardous, then drop trigger with the mint on the bad dude, giving him several new face holes. We've also got that energy acceleration mod in the artifact that can release kinetic tremors from all our micro missiles. This includes our propulsion, our sidearm, and our pulse rifle. Now sometimes double special builds can be quite thirsty, so we want a good ability spam build as a foundation. I prefer using the thruster class dodge. It's got a greater cooldown, and I like to play aggressive. The quicker we clear, the quicker we move on. The ladies might disagree, but sometimes it is a race. Now, as with these micro missiles from our Hazardous Propulsion are doing kinetic damage, I'm actually running a 2-piece tech armor, so we can do triple the damage to those elemental shields. This will help save us ammo when we come across those void and arc shields, and allow us to compete in activities that have match game. Now we are using Facet of Hope to give us better class ability regeneration when we have an elemental buff. As we do have these powerbook thrusts available to us fairly regularly, I use that cocktail of Reaper, Powerful Attractions, and Time Dilation so we can pick up orbs of power easier on the move, risky business style. Ideally we have Radiant active thanks to Fever and Chill. Off the back of those Solar Bukkake Blast, this boosts by 40%, but if we stack this with Amplified, it's going to grant us a 60% increase. To get this, we run the Knockout aspect, we crack shields, pushing our melee damage up by 50%, and this also allows us to restore portions of health when we punch those bad dudes in the face and take their Vex milk money. Whilst either Radiant or Amplified, thanks to Shield Crush, our grenades are going to recharge faster and deal 50% more damage. I like running the Glacial Grenade. It's got that Sea World splash and it's quickly shattered thanks to our projectile weapons. Consecration, enough said, is still an absolute baller on melee, and we want to balance that for our Transcendence. We always want to have Transcendence at our disposal as an option, particularly when it comes to that Gimp Rope and Jumper Cable to the Nips combo that we need to take on overload champs. This way we can take on all 3 champ types. Ruin is going to make our consecrations deadlier, and it's also going to turn up our glacial grenades and glacial quake super. The consecration and behemoth is the perfect scissor action of prismatic, where we have one hand beating the other like a bit of a forehand to gobby job. We're going to round this off with Facet Protection to soak up all that damage, and with Facet Blessing to trigger health regeneration. With melees on tap, we use one heavy handed mod to make us an orb of power off the back of those final blows. This feeds both the recuperation mod and our surge mod. We've another two-handed shake with both focusing strike and bolstering detonation, boosting our class regeneration off the back of our melee and grenade damage. Now feel free to pause here for all my mods, fragments and artifacts, but there will be a dim link in the description down below. I'm really curious guys how much armor you have. Like me, are you just a big old armor whore? Please tell me I'm not, but I do like options. I do like to sleep around with different kits, so perhaps I am. I'm also curious what your favorite return memory role is, so make sure to hit me up in the comments if you can, thumb it if you dug it, sub if you're new, and as always, tippy tie my damies, what a tie.
He's the most tip-top.